Today, we'll be discussing my foremost strategies for weight reduction. I'll share insights from my previous experiences and my overall perspective on the subject. A significant portion of our discussion will touch upon pharmacology. However, the primary focus will be on certain advice that I believe might be new to many of you. These suggestions are primarily aimed at helping you stick to your diet, which is often the main obstacle in achieving a lean physique. Reflecting on my early days in bodybuilding, I made some common errors. Like many, I believed that consuming more food would lead to more muscle growth. This approach caused me to gain a significant amount of weight, reaching over 300 pounds at a height of 6 feet 4 at one point. This weight gain was during my initial bulking phase, and I ended up gaining more than I had anticipated. To achieve a leaner physique later on, I had to shed nearly 70 to 80 pounds. This drastic weight change was not healthy and is not something I'd advise. Over the years, as I prepared for personal fitness milestones, I adopted various methods to achieve a leaner body. One area I'd like to highlight briefly is pharmacology. I've experimented with various substances, including T3 and Clen. Among these, I found certain appetite suppressants to be the most effective in aiding my weight loss journey. I've explored a wide range of products in the realm of weight management, particularly those related to pharmacology. While many products claim to burn fat directly, I found that the most effective ones indirectly aid in fat loss by suppressing appetite. In the past, I heavily relied on stimulants. I steered clear of stronger substances like phentermine and Adderall, even though they're said to be quite potent. Instead, I opted for the ECA stack, which combines ephedrine, caffeine, and aspirin. Nowadays, I prefer zero-sugar energy drinks for appetite control, finding them more effective than the ECA stack. During intense weight loss phases, I've also used melanotan too. You might wonder why one would use an injectable peptide for this purpose. While it does have potential benefits for insulin sensitivity, its primary effect for me was appetite suppression. It can induce a feeling of nausea, which, when extremely hungry, can counteract the hunger pangs, leaving you feeling neutral. I've also experimented with semaglutide, a prescription medication for appetite suppression, but found I lost a lot of muscle on it, along with the fat. As for DNP, it wasn't for me. It increased my appetite significantly, negatively impacted my workouts, and overall didn't make me feel great. Clenbuterol was beneficial, while T3, which I used excessively at times, had its downsides. Overusing T3 can lead to muscle loss, even when combined with anabolic agents. It's essential to note that while some substances can be catabolic, the role of T3 during preparation phases is often debated. When individuals undergo intense weight loss phases, they not only deprive themselves of essential micronutrients but also vital macronutrients. This deprivation can hinder the body's ability to function optimally, including the production of thyroid hormones. When the body is under such stress, it might be wise to consider incorporating T3 to alleviate some of this strain. This concept is somewhat analogous to using insulin to ease the workload on the pancreas's beta cells and manage insulin resistance. The potential benefits of using T3, especially in moderate or slightly elevated physiological amounts during intense weight loss phases, warrant further exploration. Additionally, there are other substances like injectable L-carnitine and yohimbine that seem to be effective when taken before fasted cardio sessions. These are just a few pharmacological options that individuals often inquire about in the context of weight loss. Moving on to dietary strategies, the primary challenge for many is adhering to their diet plans. The key question is, how can one achieve a lean physique without deviating from their diet? It's crucial to emphasize that while some of these strategies can be effective, they might not always align with optimal health, especially when one is operating at a significant caloric deficit. At such times, the focus shifts away from meeting all micronutrient requirements. If you're aiming for optimal weight loss, some foods, while nutritious, might not keep you full for long. Moreover, during intense weight loss phases, you might find yourself tending to zero-calorie substitutes or artificial sweeteners, which might not always be the healthiest choice. Remember, while I often discuss health and longevity, the strategies here are specifically for those on an aggressive weight loss journey. Firstly, consider eliminating all post-workout shakes. Liquid calories, especially during weight loss phases, aren't as filling as solid foods. It's more beneficial to consume actual food that requires chewing. We'll delve into the specifics of food choices later, but for starters, replace any liquid calories with solid foods. Next, think about carbonated beverages like sparkling water. These can give a false sense of fullness, helping curb your appetite temporarily. Another option is a calorie-free drink similar to diet soda but sweetened with stevia instead of artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose. However, if you prefer diet sodas with these sweeteners and they help you adhere to your diet, then it's a personal choice. There isn't definitive evidence suggesting occasional consumption over a short period is detrimental to health. Lastly, black coffee has long been recognized as an effective appetite suppressant. Consider incorporating it into your routine if you haven't already. Many individuals often make the mistake of adding ingredients like sugar, MCT oil, or keto-friendly additives to their coffee, assuming it remains low-calorie. However, the best approach for a truly low-calorie coffee is to sweeten it with stevia. It's essential to be cautious about what you're adding to your beverages, as these additions can quickly add up in terms of calories. Stevia offers a sweet taste similar to sugar without the added calories and without causing a spike in insulin levels, making it an excellent alternative. Another underrated diet tip is opting for sugar-free Jello. It provides a sweet taste, reminiscent of a delightful dessert without the high calorie count. Some flavors are incredibly low in calories, allowing you to enjoy a sizable portion without guilt. For instance, certain Jello varieties can offer a large serving for as little as 50 calories. There are also pudding versions available that, while slightly higher in calories, are still a lighter option compared to many desserts. These can be particularly satisfying when you're craving something sweet during an intense diet phase. For perspective, 2 full packages might only amount to 80 calories, which is surprisingly low for the volume you get. Incorporating such low-calorie, satisfying options can make adhering to a strict diet much more manageable. Another area to focus on is the selection of sauces, dressings, syrups, condiments, and dips. For instance, while protein pancakes can be a healthy choice, the syrup you choose can make a significant difference. Many salad dressings are calorie-rich, and individuals often overlook them when counting their daily intake. For example, Caesar dressing can be high in fats, and adding it to a large salad might lead to unexpected calorie intake. It's essential to be mindful of the dressings and toppings you use. A common misconception is that eating a salad always equates to a low-calorie meal. However, with certain additions, a salad's calorie count can rival that of 2 cheeseburgers. I've previously mentioned diet sodas, but another helpful tip is sugar-free gum. Each piece typically contains around 5 calories and can be effective in keeping your mouth occupied. Chewing gum can also help in suppressing hunger to some extent. The act of chewing sends signals to the brain that can enhance feelings of fullness. It's a lesser-known benefit that isn't discussed frequently. Lastly, when it comes to salads, it's crucial to be conscious of the ingredients you're adding. If you decide to include dressings or toppings, it's essential to measure them accurately. Many individuals estimate the amount, but this can often lead to miscalculations in calorie intake. If you're considering using a dressing, opt for a low-calorie version or ensure you measure it accurately. One method is to weigh the dressing bottle before and after pouring to determine the exact amount used. Alternatively, place your salad on a scale and then add the dressing to gauge the quantity. This approach ensures you remain within your dietary limits. Many individuals either use excessive amounts or should reconsider using dressings altogether, as those calories could be better spent on more filling foods. Another product worth mentioning is PB2 Peanut Butter. I often mix it into my oatmeal to enhance the flavor. Essentially, PB2 is a powdered peanut butter variant that has about 85% less fat than traditional peanut butter. It's derived from slow roasted peanuts, which are then pressed to remove most of the fat and oil. This product serves as a diet-friendly alternative to regular peanut butter. While I'm not an avid peanut butter enthusiast, many people crave it, especially during dieting phases. The advantage of PB2 is that 2 tablespoons contain only 45 calories and 5 grams of protein with minimal fat. It's versatile and can be added to protein shakes, oatmeal, protein pancakes, and even French toast. While it's not a staple I'd consume all year round, it's a valuable addition during intense dieting periods to add some zest to otherwise bland meals. Another alternative that's often overlooked, but I find incredibly useful, is Shirataki Noodles. While they might not taste exactly like traditional pasta, they come close enough, especially when you're on a strict diet. These noodles are not carb-heavy and virtually calorie-free. The brand I prefer claims 0 calories for an entire package. In my view, Shirataki noodles are an excellent tool for those watching their intake. Imagine preparing 2 whole packages, adding some chicken, and ending up with a massive chicken and noodle dish that's only around 250 calories. The only things you need to account for are the chicken and any sauce you add. These noodles can be quite filling, and while they might not be everyone's first choice when not dieting, they become a delightful option when you're cutting calories. To enhance the flavor, consider adding chicken pieces and a low-calorie sauce. Whether it's a spicy sauce like Frank's Red Hot, some mustard, or even a reduced-calorie BBQ or pasta sauce, the combination can be surprisingly satisfying. Mixing this with Shirataki noodles and chicken creates a delightful teriyaki chicken bowl that's both tasty and diet-friendly. Additionally, there's a sugar-free BBQ sauce that's a game-changer. With only 5 calories and a single gram of carbs per tablespoon, it's a healthier alternative. Unlike many low-calorie BBQ sauces that tend to be watery, this one maintains a thick consistency closely resembling traditional calorie-rich sauces. It's a fantastic addition to meats and elevates their flavor profile. For dessert lovers, consider making protein ice cream using your blender. This low-calorie treat can be enhanced with PB2 peanut butter, chocolate protein powder, or even powdered Jello for added flavor. For those who enjoy snacking, low-fat popcorn, especially the 94% fat-free version, is a tasty and healthier option. Lastly, a quick tip on carbohydrate timing. I found that consuming carbs too early in the day can derail my dietary plans. It's essential to find the right timing for your meals to ensure you stick to your diet. One strategy that has been beneficial for me is delaying my first meal. Starting my day without immediately eating helps prevent an early insulin spike, which can often lead to increased hunger and the desire to eat more. By waiting about 8 hours after waking up to eat, I create an 8-hour window to consume my daily calories, followed by 8 hours of sleep. This approach resembles a 16 to 8 intermittent fasting routine. When in a significant caloric deficit, distributing meals evenly throughout the day can be challenging. I found it more manageable to concentrate my food intake within a shorter time frame. Once I begin eating, especially carbs, my insulin levels rise and my appetite surges, making it hard to stop. However, before reaching that point, certain tools like sugar-free gum, diet sodas, and stimulants help curb my hunger. Moreover, if you're considering intermittent fasting or a similar approach, it might be beneficial to limit carbs in your initial meal. Based on personal experience, carb-rich meals tend to heighten hunger more than low-carb ones. Maintaining stable blood sugar levels can make it easier to stick to your diet without feeling the urge to overeat. Therefore, I usually consume carbs around my workout or later in the day. By doing so, I avoid opening the hunger floodgates early on, allowing me to manage my diet more effectively. If you're struggling with intense cravings, you might want to consider a keto diet. Some individuals find it easier to maintain their caloric intake without carbs, as the keto approach helps stabilize blood sugar levels. Regardless of whether it's the best for performance, the key is consistency in your diet. Ultimately, you need to meet your caloric goals. Another aspect to consider is a high-protein diet. While there's debate about the ideal protein intake, I've found protein to be the most filling among all macronutrients. Although fats are often touted as filling, they're also calorie-rich. For instance, a small serving of almonds can equate to several ounces of meat in terms of calories, but may not be as satisfying. In my experience, when consuming carbs, it's challenging to feel full from fats. Hence, I tend to prioritize protein not just for muscle retention but also for diet adherence. Carbs can trigger insulin spikes, leading to increased hunger. Adjusting your macronutrient distribution can help manage these cravings. Additionally, opting for leaner protein sources, like white meat over red meat, can help you stay within your caloric limits while still meeting your nutritional needs. Let's say you're on a diet where you're consuming meals with 6 ounces of lean ground beef. One simple adjustment to reduce caloric intake is to replace red meat with white meat. This way, you're consuming the same volume of food, but with fewer calories due to the reduced fat content. This approach allows you to maintain the same portion sizes but with a lower caloric density. If you're not keen on switching to white meat, consider opting for higher quality, leaner cuts of red meat. For instance, choosing ground bison over regular ground beef not only offers a better meat quality but also has fewer calories per ounce. Additionally, maintaining good gut health and ensuring adequate stomach acidity is vital. Many overlook this, especially those with autoimmune or gut-related concerns. Proper stomach acidity is essential for nutrient absorption and overall digestion. Without it, undigested proteins can linger, leading to fermentation and potential autoimmune reactions. It's crucial to produce enough hydrochloric acid to digest food properly, ensuring nutrients are not just ingested but absorbed effectively. This not only affects your performance and weight loss but also your post-meal feelings of well-being and satiety. Another straightforward strategy is to replace high-calorie foods with lower-calorie alternatives. For instance, consider substituting regular milk with almond milk. The goal is to consume the same volume of food but with fewer calories. As you evaluate your diet, identify calorie-dense items and seek out less calorie-dense alternatives that still offer the same satisfaction. Considering your protein sources, it's beneficial to opt for high-quality, leaner cuts of meat or transition to poultry when necessary. Increasing the volume and fiber content in your meals can also enhance feelings of fullness. While this might seem evident to many, it's a point worth reiterating. When aiming for weight loss, it's essential to adjust your calorie intake gradually and boost your physical activity in a measured manner. A common pitfall is drastically reducing calorie intake right from the start, which can lead to rapid metabolic changes. While aggressive cuts might be necessary for specific deadlines, a gradual approach often yields better long-term results. This method helps retain muscle mass and avoids the need for extreme calorie deficits later on. Those who drastically reduce their intake might see quick results initially, but they'll hit a plateau eventually. And when that happens, further reducing calories can be detrimental. Lastly, incorporating short walks into your routine can be beneficial. This idea, inspired by Stan Efferding, aids digestion and improves insulin sensitivity. More steps are linked to longer lifespans and better overall body composition. It's a simple yet effective way to boost energy expenditure. While you might already be aware, it's not necessary to make cardio the center of your fitness routine. Committing to long cardio sessions can be challenging for many. Personally, I found shorter 10-minute walks to be more enjoyable and manageable compared to longer 45-minute cardio sessions. Recent research supports this approach. In a study where participants' blood sugar levels were monitored using various methods, it was observed that taking a 10-minute walk after each meal resulted in blood sugar levels that were about 12% lower than those who opted for a single 30-minute walk daily. So, instead of dedicating a long chunk of time once a day, spreading out shorter walks can be more beneficial in maintaining lower blood sugar levels. This not only positively impacts body composition but also aids digestion. After a substantial meal, it's beneficial to engage in light activity rather than remaining sedentary. These short walks can help in nutrient distribution and blood glucose management, which are essential for overall health, longevity, and efficient fat loss. I hope you find these insights valuable and can incorporate them into your routine. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Your support helps boost visibility on platforms like YouTube. Also, if you're passionate about optimizing your health and diving deep into the world of biohacking and nootropics, I've got something special for you. Check out my books in the description below. They're packed with cutting-edge insights and practical tips to elevate your well-being to the next level. Don't miss out on this treasure trove of knowledge. Dive in and discover the secrets to peak health and performance.